Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Lunatics Unleashed Season 1, Episode 1, Lunatics on Ice. So, this is a show that many people, like myself, remember, but some people do not, or have never heard of it. It's kind of like one of those lost, forgotten shows that's really good. But one day in the future, I do plan on talking about this as a whole. It's just gonna take a while, and because this is a really interesting show that is riddled in controversy and stuff, all the way to why it got canceled. I personally love this show. I love season one. Not a huge fan of season two. Season two tried to appeal to that of the Looney Tunes fandom, and for me, it ruined it and stuff. I liked it better when they was just trying to do their own thing. It's kind of like the 2003 Ninja Turtles series. They did their own thing in the beginning. Fans were happy, but still wanted to see the older 80s version. So they started tweaking things here and there with like the intro. And then the last season just pretty much was just an 80s version of like, the Ninja Turtle, but in a newer style and changed the art direction. And you get what I'm saying. So that's kind of what happened here, because Lunatics Unleashed is based off of Looney Tunes. And the thing about this has such an impact on people that it stopped the brand of Looney Tunes for about 4 years. And so but it's funny because if you watch the Animaniacs reboot, which I need to finish watching that because I just now heard that some of these characters appear in the show. And I'm like, what? That's insane. And so I had stopped watching the Animaniacs reboot, but I'm gonna try to find this episode. I wish Lunatics Unleashed would get rebooted. I wish it would get probably like the live action movie treatment or just the CGI treatment or just something. Because this was a really interesting take on Looney Tunes. The DVD is out of print, sadly. And if you try to get it, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, whether you try to get it new or used. And so, Lunatics Unleashed, what it was they tried to capitalize on superhero stuff. The Warner Brothers people did. Things like Teen Titans, Justice League, Batman Beyond, X-Men Evolution. All those properties were really hot and coming out around the same time, and they wanted to capitalize on that. So they decided to set the show in the year 2772, where the descendants of the Looney Tunes gain superpowers. It pretty much states it in the intro, but it doesn't state that they're descendants. But pretty much what it is that in the intro, it says a meteorite hit the earth and everything, and instead of destroying the earth, it just knocked it off its axis. So it's kind of like a drift, and part of the earth is kind of broken up and stuff at the top. And the asteroid hit the water, and all these cosmic rays happen, and certain people got superpowers because it altered their genetics. And so this is how their descendants gain superpowers, and also their villains and stuff. Now, they look relative similar like the Looney Tunes cast. The design's just a little bit sharper, and the color of their skin and fur is different. I think it's when they put on their costumes, their fur changes color, I believe. Or maybe it changed because of the superpowers. Because when they do the origin story, they will show them in their regular, natural looking fur and stuff like that. In this show, they pretty much keep their costumes on all the time. It's these black leather outfits that look very sharp. But the problem with this show was, before it ever aired, there was concept design. I think maybe a concept design, I believe. And it pissed a lot of kids off and a lot of parents off. But it pissed one kid off in particular, and he wrote a really mean letter complaining and stuff. That complaint led to, I believe what people said, it led to the show's cancellation, or it led to character design. So the designs you see in the show might not be the original designs. They probably got redesigned. Anyway, so in this episode, at Metropolis is what it's called, and there's a heat wave going on. And so everybody's just burning up, and everybody wish it would get a little bit colder. Then all of a sudden, the city starts to freeze over. Something is causing this phenomenon. But what is it? Well, it's the villain of the week. So the lunatics are in their tower. And it's a really cool, impressive tower. It reminds me of the Teen Titans tower. And so they're all just like, doing what they normally do, get along and like, training or whatnot, or just like typical like superhero stuff because they're teenagers in this. And so Ace Bunny is related to Bugs Bunny. Lexi Bunny is based off of Lola, I believe she is, but she has the design of Babs Bunny. You have Tech E Coyote, who of course is based on Wile E. Coyote, and he can talk in this, and he's like the brains of the operation. Ace is of course the leader. Leslie is like his second in command, which I guess Bugs and Lola never hooked up. And so like got Danger Duck, who's off Daffy Duck. And Danger Duck, he's trying to change his name. He doesn't like it. So I guess this is a couple of weeks after they got their powers, or maybe a couple of months, because he's trying to change his name. You have Slam, which is based off the Tasmanian Devil dude. And you have Rev, who is based off of the Roadrunner. For the most part, it is action-packed, but there is humor, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's even a little bit of that Looney Tunes humor. You have Ace constantly acting like Bugs, like, joking around as he's fighting. Like, you know how, like, Bugs would be all like, say somebody's going to hunt him. They're like, I'm going to hunt you and put you in a stew. And he'll be like, no, you're not. And then the person will be like, yes, I am. So Bugs will do over and over, no, you're not, like over and over. But then he'll change it up and he'll be like, yes, you are. And then the other person be like, no, you won't. And that's how he'll like trick them. He does that here and everything. So it still has that humor. It still has that humor of Tech like building something and then his gadget going wrong as he's saving the day. Similar to how Wile E. Coyote, the Acme products, are always messing him up. And then, like his body's like smushed and cindered and, and Danger Duck does not like the bunnies and he's just arrogant and like, rude and stuff like that. So it's very much very similar to Looney Tunes. It's just different because they are a little bit more edgier and they got flashy costumes and powers. And so like, there's this like holographic imagery of a woman called Zadarella, something like that. I can't remember her name. Oh, I can't say her name. It's something alien like Zadar Zadaria or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, she's kind of like their handler and, one who like tells them what to do and where to go. And she's letting them know that the city is freezing over and they need to investigate. So they do. And as they're investigating, they realize that it's a group of Vikings of all things that just wants to freeze over the city and the earth. Why? Because they're villains and that's what they do. So of course, a battle happens and Ace, he has heat ray vision. Lexi has like telepathy and telekinesis. Danger Duck can teleport. Slam can make like electrical tornadoes. Rev, of course, can run really fast and flames will come from like his entrails. And Tech is just like super smart. So like they all get frozen in a block of ice and only Duck is able to teleport out. As he's trying to figure a way to get out, he's more happy that they're frozen because he gets to be the leader now. So the Slam just busts them all out. And so Tech enables them with all kind of weaponry. He gives them jetpacks to fly around. They can shoot like flames from their hands, like little laser things. They have like sonic guns, like all kind of cool stuff. And for whatever reason, Ace has a sword. And so like when they find out it's the Vikings and everything and they go to fight them, they are on their motorcycles that can also fly. And once they defeat the Vikings, they realize something. These aren't the real Vikings. These are only robots. And the real Vikings are going to the power grid to destroy it so they can freeze over the city more. So they head on over there and they fight the bad guys. I love how they fight as a team. You know, it's not just one person showboating. They are very coordinated and have a plan of attack and everything. And I love that, very X-Men like, you know. And Teen Titans, like the animation kind of reminds me of not so much of Teen Titans, but there was some cartoon that came out around that time that the animation is similar to. Anyways, they defeat, like, you know, the Vikings because Tech is able to re-engineer their bodysuits because their suits of armor, their power draws from like their helmet. And so like he's able to like stop them because of that. But like, you know, he ends up getting fried in the process. And so after that, you know, they head back in Zadaria. That's what I think it is, Zadaria. And so she, you know, congratulates them, and she congratulates every single last one of them individually, except for Duck. And it pisses him off. So he contacts her again, and she's furious, telling him that stop bugging her about his name change. He's gonna stay Danger Duck, and that's that. And so pretty much the show just like ends and stuff. It's really, really, really cool. Like, I wish to God this was on HBO Max. I wish to God they still made the DVDs. I wish it was on another streaming site. It actually is on a streaming site, but you have to pay. I forget which one it is. And, you know, it's just a really interesting and unique take on Looney Tunes. And I love how action-packed it is. And, you know, because Looney Tunes, you know, it's a fun slapstick show, but it gets stale after a while. Like, it never really lasts that long with all the reboots and stuff. And the last time we had any type of Looney Tunes anything was the original Tiny Toons and the Space Jam movies. So this was a needed fresh breath of air that came around until people complained and got it canned and everything. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.